I mean, the drive in itself is already spectacular. Right, we are on our way to Alaska from the Yukon, so we can go on a cool little hike in Skagway. Never done that hike before. Actually, I've never done any hike in Alaska, so it'll be a first for me as well. 1,300 meters up, which in feet is even more. From the top, we should be able to have an amazing view over the fjord. Skagway used to be a really important town during the Klondike Gold Rush. Now it's more of a tourist hub, actually big cruise ships going there. If you want to find out more, I have a whole video that's just about this drive from Carcross to Skagway and Haines and back to Whitehorse, because the drive in itself is already quite mind-blowing, quite amazing. There's deserts, lakes, rivers, big mountains, so it's really cool to see. Before we can start our hike, we have to make it through US Customs, which does not sit right at the US-Canada border. So technically we're already in Alaska, but the customs is a little bit later, which means you shouldn't forget your passport or you'll be stuck in no man's land. Let's see if they let us in. Yes, that's one thing that's better about hiking in Europe. You don't even know when you're across the border. So I think this should be the Italian border.
Where are you headed?
Just to Skagway to go on a hike and then come back.
All right. Here you go.
Cool, thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
You too. Well, I was actually not so bad. AB Mountain, which sits right next to Skagway, derives its name from the Arctic Brotherhood, a fraternal organization which was formed during the gold rush. Right, let's get the party started. I couldn't actually find the trail anywhere on like an app, but I'll leave my GPS below because it took me a bit just to even find the trailhead. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Cool. The trail starts off nice and wide and leads us through an open hemlock forest. You shouldn't be surprised if you come across people riding horses or mountain bikes on this section of the trail. After about 3 kilometers, the trail does get successively narrower and steeper, and eventually turns into a bushwhacking mission. What? Fuck. Looking good. Yeah, the trail started off nicely for the first 3.5 kilometers, and now it's really steep and bushwhacky and, well, definitely not an easy hike. But there are blueberries. Yum yum. I love blueberries. The trail remains steep and overgrown until we reach the upper tree line. Here we already get a glimpse of the marvelous view we can expect from the top. Hello. How are you doing? I've made it through the bushwhacking section, and now the trail is actually really cool. So, worth it. Some glaciers. Well, let's check out this little peak. Have a little lunch. Cheers. So yeah, apart from the bushwhacking in the middle section, pretty cool hike. The view up here is really cool. So I think if you climb 1,000 meters, which means like that edge over there, pretty much get the same view. So it doesn't even make that much sense to keep on going farther. And then kind of around the corner, you can't see it from here, we have Haines in Alaska, a town you have probably heard of if you ever watched a ski movie, because this is kind of the epicenter of heli skiing, so to say. Which isn't too surprising looking at all these mountains around us. Back in Skagway, I decide to visit the local brewery, but somehow end up in what might be the world's windiest indoor beer garden. Oh, that's one windy beer garden here. Anyways, fun little hike. If you want to find out more about Skagway and the Yukon and Alaska, check out one of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. American beer.